I've actually been adopted at birth, but I learned that when you are adopted at birth, there's still this connection you need to have with your mother, that when you don't get it, you still get that empty bond between them. I've had a tough life growing up. I have a biological brother that I always got into fights with. We never really got along, and he got into drugs and alcohol, which really affected my life because my parents were really focused on him, and I kind of got left out on all that. And I've been hanging out with a bunch of wrong people, a bunch of wrong friends in my life, and they've definitely brought me downhill. When I first got to Calo, I was really miserable. I didn't want to work in this program. I really felt like a real outsider, alone, lost, and just the relationships, knowing that people unconditionally cared no matter what, really kind of helped through this. It was a difficult, long path, but finally I made it and I did it. So when the light really hit, it was actually when I truly, really accepted myself for who I was and loved myself for who I was, and knowing that my family loved me no matter what. And I kind of actually just experienced that about 6-7 months ago, and it's really incredible knowing that people care no matter what. And it was a very difficult path.
We've got kids that show up here. I don't know any other way to describe it other than broken. It's rough. And I look back at my own life, and I was adopted at birth and then had some decent trauma in the attachment window. That's kind of how we describe it. There's this attachment window from 0 to age 6, and you introduce neglect, abuse of any kind into that window, and you run the risk of having some attachment stuff come up later on. And indeed, I had some of that, plus the trauma of just adoption. Happy, I love my family and love my mom and dad, but there was some stuff to kind of work through. With my own experience, I understood as I started working with these teens, some of the mistrust and some of the desire for connection, but the wondering, can I really have that connection? And am I a square peg in the round hole? Am I alone in this? There's some things that go along with that. And so to really be out there, if I can talk kind of personally, helping my people is a really beautiful thing.
Well, before Calo, I was at home, and not that much stuff was going in the direction that I or anyone else wanted it to go. I guess at the time, it felt like it was going in the direction that I wanted it to go, because I didn't have my priorities straight. I was throwing myself into bad things, like I was dating a girl that wasn't helping me at all. And so after that, I guess my biggest wake-up call was I did end up getting arrested. And after that, I guess the dynamic at my house changed. My parents weren't happy with what I was doing, and I wasn't happy with my parents. And I had already been to two programs before, and at these programs, like they were level system based and stuff, and like when you got to a certain point, they would say, "Oh, well, you're ready to go home, goodbye." And after all that happened, there wasn't really much that I could do except go home, and because they didn't teach me any skills, they taught me how to handle what I was doing there, but not how to handle what was outside. So after the big wake-up call when I got arrested, I stayed home for about a week and a half, 2 weeks after that, and then I came here. And so at Calo, they really do try to make a difference. They're not just here like, here, let's let you get away from your parents and settle some issues. It's no, you're gonna get away from your parents and you're gonna settle all your issues. And it's all relationship based, so none of it's like the level system or any of that. It's all, if this is what you want, we're not just gonna give it to you, you're gonna have to work your butt off and get it yourself. But at the same time, the whole trust of care, trust of self, trust of control, and interdependence, they're gonna help you along the way, but the staff here is amazing. The staff here also know that they can't do everything for you. They'll do what they need to do for you because fairness is getting what you need, not what you want. And then they'll help you along the way. They'll tell you how to do it, but you have to be the one to do it. And so they'll tell you, this is what you need to do to make things right with your parents. This is what I want to see from you. But they're not going to say, I'm going to help you do this. They're going to say, this is how I can help you do this. You have to be willing to accept it. They'll put the door in front of you, but you have to open it yourself.
I would run away, get into fights. I would use drugs. I would just be defiant and push people away, not let anybody in. And that was very hard for me. I didn't have anything structured in my life. I was always running and bouncing from place to place, so that was very difficult until I came to Calo, and it's helped a lot. The biggest thing for me was when I had came to Calo, I had actually tried to run from Calo as well, and it wasn't until after I had found out, I didn't realize how many people cared for me and how much they cared for me. It wasn't anything based on behavioral, it was all about the relationships, and that really helped to realize that people are going to care for me no matter what and won't judge me for my past or for my mistakes. So that meant a lot to me, and that's when I slowly decided to change and make a difference for myself. I also struggled with low self-worth, of not taking my makeup off and not wearing it, or wearing it all the time and not accepting compliments. I've gotten a lot better where I'm comfortable with myself. I can go around and say, I'm beautiful, you know.
I've had experiences now as I travel around the country talking at conferences and such, where I'm with other adoptees who have been through what I've been through. And it's terribly engaging to see that, you know, what we're doing and what we're talking about actually makes a difference. And then the other side of that, to work really hard with some student that comes in and is struggling mightily, and see them put it together over the course of 6 months, a year, 2 years, and go home and then do really well, to do fabulously well. That, it's easy to get up and come to work every day.